Amazon Music.
It's time to say goodbye for now. We'll have our second time around. But before you go, there's something I'd like to say. Everything's not what it seems. There's a stronger force behind the scenes. He's in our lives every day. He's right there when we call. In him is where my strength lies. I lift my eyes beyond the skies. Only he can save my life, and only he can hear my cry. I wanna thank you, God, for giving me one more chance to raise my voice and to sing your praise. I sing it out loud, I sing it all day. This song is my prayer I give to only you. I know it can't compare to the gift from you. You gave me your love. You gave me your son. Oh, yes, you did. Oh, hey. I know there's some who don't believe. Sometimes it's very hard to see. Live this whole life every day. Some things don't go your way. But to be without is not his will. There's cattle on 1,000 hills and they're all yours to claim. Just claim them in his holy name. You don't have to beg or crawl, no. He can see you standing proud and tall. He'll give his everlasting love. Just come to him as you are. I wanna thank you, God, for giving me one more chance to raise my voice and to sing your praise. I sing it out loud, hey, I sing it all day. This song is my prayer I give to only you. I know it can't compare to the gift from you. Oh, you gave me your love. You gave me a son. I wanna thank you, God, for giving me one more chance to raise my voice and to sing your praise. I sing it out loud, oh, I sing it all day. This song is my prayer I give to only you. I know it can't compare to the gift of you. You gave me your love. You gave me a son. Now I say amen. I feel your sweet
Good morning. Hey, Miss Jennifer, Miss Shirley McAdams, how y'all doing this morning? Welcome, everybody that's just waking up this morning that is going to be tuning in to Atmos in the Morning. Today is August the 17th of 2021. And if you are listening to me, that means that you are one blessed individual, that you are here live, awake, and able to see what's going on in this world today. We have some very interesting things to cover today, y'all. Today's show is definitely going to be it's going to be a real good show. When I was putting together the show, some of the things that are going on right now are definitely worthy of us talking about. And so we are going to cover some of those things, okay? First things first, I want to thank God. You know, I think it's important that people don't get wrapped up in their own things going on in life, right? Good morning, Alma Queen Newton. Good morning, Queen. How you doing? I think it's important to remember who is the reason why you have what you have. Even if you don't have as much as you think you should have in life, like be thankful for what you do have. Be thankful for God making sure that you can function, that your family can function each and every day. Because when you think that things are going bad for you, just remember this. It can always be worse, okay? So today we are going to talk about a few things here, y'all, that is crushing. This specific story here, I want to start over in Afghanistan. That situation over there, y'all, is heart-wrenching. And I don't want to make it seem as though that we don't care about, you know, not just what's going on here in America, but overseas, because those people are people too. Okay, here's a story of, it says here that the Taliban knocked on this lady's door 3 times. The 4th time, they killed her. Like, I don't get why people are so surprised and why these people are terrified to be in this country, because the United States has just pretty much abandoned these folks. Now, I do understand President Joe Biden's stance. I watched his address to the nation yesterday, where he pretty much said, well, if the Afghan people aren't going to fight for themselves, then why are we going to fight for them? And that does make sense. If they're not going to fight for themselves, why are we over there putting our sons and our daughters in harm's way to get killed by these folks when their own people won't fight for their own land? And that does make sense. I understand that. You know, we spent over $88 billion in that country training people. At one time, they said they had trained a force of over 300,000 people to be able to defend their country. And they just simply will not fight against the Taliban. And so that is part of the reason why Biden is like, listen, we've been over there for 20 years. And, you know, our goal was to help them, you know, establish peace and things like that. But now that we're ready to leave, they won't defend their own land. I'm going to show you here how the president of that country actually just left his people. Like, how you going to be a leader of a land, and when things get rough, you just like, hey, y'all, I'll holler at y'all. I'm out. Things like that is just, whenever you have that type of situation, I understand why Biden said, you know, we rolling out. We rolling out. It just makes sense. So here in this story, y'all, it says that Naja was home with her 3 young sons and daughter in a small village in northern Afghanistan when Taliban fighters knocked on their door. Naja's daughter, Manziha, 25, knew they were coming. Her mother told her they'd done the same thing in the previous 3 days, demanding that she cook food for up to 15 fighters. My mom told them, I am poor. How can I cook for you? Said Manisa. the Taliban started beating her. My mother collapsed and they hit her with their guns, AK-47s. Maniza said she yelled for the fighters to stop. They paused for a minute before throwing a grenade into the next room and fleeing as the flames spread. She said the mother of 4 died from the beating. The deadly July 12th attack on Naja's home in Faryab province was a chilling preview of the threat now facing women across Afghanistan after the Taliban's takeover of the capital Kabul. CNN is using aliases for Naja and Naziha to protect their identity for safety reasons. In 10 days, Taliban militants captured dozens of provincial capitals left vulnerable by the withdrawal of the United States and allied troops. The speed of militants across advance caught locals off guard. Some women said that they had no time to buy a burqa to comply with the Taliban's rules. That woman should be covered up and accompanied by a male relative to when they leave the house. To Afghanistan's women, the flowing cloth represents the sudden and devastating loss of rights gained over 20 years ago, the right to work, study, move, and even live in peace, that they fear will never be regained. Workers at a beauty salon, large photos of a wall in October 15, 2021. Deep distrust. When the Taliban last ruled Afghanistan between 1996 and 2001, they closed girls' schools and banned women from working. After the U.S. invaded in 2001, restrictions on women eased, and even as the war raged, a local commitment to improving women's rights, supported by international groups and donors, led to the creation of new legal protections. In 2009, the Elimination of Violence Against Women law criminalized rape, battery, and forced marriage, and made it illegal to stop women or girls from working or studying. This time, the Taliban is promising to form an Afghan inclusive Islamic government, although it's not clear what form that will take of the new leadership will include women, and if the new leadership will include women. Farzana Kochi, who was serving as a member of the Afghan parliament, says she doesn't know what comes next. There has been no clear announcement about the form of government in the future. Do we have a parliament in the future government or not? She said. She's also concerned about her future freedoms as a woman. This is something that concerns me more, she said. Every woman is thinking about this. We're just trying to have a clue. Would women be allowed to work and to accompany a job or not? This 45-year-old widow was beaten to death after she told Taliban fighters she couldn't cook for them. Wow. Taliban denied killing Naja, the mother, but their words were contradicted by witnesses of the local officials who confirmed the death of the 45-year-old woman whose home was set alight. The neighbor who yelled at the men to stop said many women in Naja's village are widows of the Afghan soldiers. They earn a living selling milk, but the Taliban won't allow that. She said, "We don't have men in our house. What shall we do? We want schools, clinics, and freedom like other women and men, other people." Y'all, this is some sad stuff, man. It just goes to show you why it was important for us to go over there in the first place, to help these folks have some type of freedoms. Good morning, Jacqueline Jones. How you doing? to have some type of freedoms. Can y'all imagine being over here in America, those of y'all that are here? Can you imagine not being able to work? Can you imagine having to cover your head everywhere you went? Can you imagine not being allowed to go outside to walk the streets without a man being next to your side? Do y'all really understand how much freedom y'all have here in America? Do you realize how many rights you have that a lot of other countries are not privy to when it comes to the queens? It's mind-blowing. And sometimes we have to face these things head on to realize exactly why these people are so terrified to be there. And when you see this stuff, you know, they say they had so far they've gotten about 2,000 people out of Afghanistan to help. A lot of these people are people that helped us when we was trying to liberate the people there. And these are Afghans who said, okay, we'll stand with you to help you fight against the Taliban. I guess our promise to them was, well, when we leave, we'll make sure we take y'all with us. So hopefully the United States lives up to their word. They could save as many women and children and men there as possible and help them have a new life here. I believe they already have a satellite camp. Well, they don't call it a satellite camp. They call it an immigration place. I believe it's one will be in Texas, I believe. And I think it's like a 20,000 place facility for these folks. So we'll see, what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay, y'all. So this story here is definitely appalling. Let me show y'all this here. Give me one moment. So this here says Russia says the Afghan president fled with cars and a helicopter full of cash. I can't make this stuff up, y'all. I can't make this stuff up. Let's see exactly what they're talking about.
With Comcast Business, you get the network that can deliver gig speeds to the most.
Hold on. I don't want no Comcast Business.
Businesses and advanced cybersecurity to protect every device on it. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Crowds packed the international airport in Kabul in a chaotic scene on Sunday after Taliban insurgents entered the Afghan capital and President Ashraf Ghani fled the country, saying he wanted to avoid bloodshed. As night fell, local television One TV reported that multiple explosions were heard in Kabul, which had been largely quiet earlier in the day. It said gunfire could be heard near the airport, where foreign diplomats, officials, and other Afghans sought to leave the country. Aid Group Emergency said 80 wounded people had been brought to its hospital in Kabul, which was at capacity, and said it was only admitting people with life-threatening injuries. It was not yet clear where President Ghani was headed or how exactly power would be transferred following the Taliban's lightning sweep across Afghanistan. Their advance accelerated as U.S. and other foreign troops withdrew in line with President Joe Biden's decision to end America's longest war, launched 2 decades ago. The spokesman for the Taliban's political office told Al Jazeera on Sunday that the war is over in Afghanistan and that the type of rule and the form of regime will be clear soon. 2 senior Taliban commanders in Kabul said insurgents had taken control of the presidential palace. Some local social media users branded President Ghani a coward for leaving them in chaos. American diplomats were flown by helicopter to the airport from their embassy as Afghan forces melted away. The U.S. Embassy said in a security alert that, quote, the security situation in Kabul is changing quickly, adding that there were reports the airport had come under fire. A source who was at the airport said there were hundreds of desperate Afghans waiting for flights, with some scuffles among people unable to get a place, as departures were halted.
Man, listen. This stuff is crazy. Yeah, I would have got out of there too. Taliban's. What's going on, Johan? What's up, brother? Tone, what's up, man? Man, me too. I would have fled too. I get it. I'm not saying I don't understand why they left, y'all. I understand, but it's just crazy how it's a catch-22. It's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. You know, if you leave, they're gonna say, you left them people there and you abandoned them. Hey, Rocker with the truth. Good morning, sister. How you doing? You leave, they're gonna say you abandoned them folks. If you stay, they're gonna say, they killing people because y'all still there, and they said they didn't want y'all to be there. So it's rough. It's rough. Biden is really putting it crazy. According to Biden, Trump put him in this situation. I guess Trump had already negotiated a deal with them folks over there that we will be out of Afghanistan by May 1st of this year. So I guess Biden extended that, realizing the situation, it wasn't ready for us to leave yet. And so he extended it to August 31st. So by the end of this month, we will be completely out of Afghanistan. And the Taliban will have complete control of those people. And I pray that God has mercy on those folks, man. When you hear about these stories where, they knock on this lady's door and they tell her, we need you to cook for us. It's 15 men. And she say, I'm poor. I don't have no food. I don't have enough to feed y'all. And they beat her and kill her. And then throw a grenade in her house. That's barbaric. Yeah, prayers for the people of Afghanistan. Absolutely. But that is barbaric, y'all. That is barbaric. Like, that's insane. And this president of theirs, their president, Russia's embassy in Kabul, said on Monday that the Afghan president, Ashraf Ghani, had fled the country with 4 cars and a helicopter full of cash and had to leave some money behind as it would not all fit in. Wow. That's just, damn. The president just left him. Like, all right, moving right along, y'all. I hate to just say it like that, but it really makes you appreciate where you are, where you live here in the United States. Here's another story. It looks like Rick Scott is removing Joe Biden from office over the way he has handled this Afghanistan thing. This is coming out of the Politico. It says Senator Rick Scott, the chair of the Senate GOP campaign arm, questioned Monday whether President Joe Biden's cabinet should remove him from office, a near impossibility over the sudden collapse of Afghanistan. Scott, who was widely viewed as a potential 2024 presidential candidate, of course he will be saying this because he's trying to run for president. We must confront a serious question. Is Joe Biden capable of discharging the deputies of his office for has time come to exercise the provisions of the 25th Amendment? The Florida Republicans' remarks echo calls from former President Donald Trump, of freaking course, and his allies for Biden to step down, which began as the Taliban took control of the country and toppled the Afghan government. While Senate Republicans have widely lambasted Biden for his administration's handling of the troop withdrawal, Scott is the only one so far to bring up the possibility of invoking the 25th Amendment, which lays out presidential order of succession. Under the 25th Amendment, which has never been used, the vice president and the majority of the president's cabinet would need to determine he is no longer fit for office. Congress would then need to approve that process by a 2/3 vote in both chambers. Biden's removal from office over the situation in Afghanistan is unrealistic, as Democrats maintain full control of Washington and the vast majority of Republicans are not calling for his resignation. Okay, so this dude is obviously a freaking idiot. Obviously. Because that would never, ever, ever happen. Biden ain't going nowhere, okay? We're going to move right along to this right here. So this story says, share this with y'all. All right, it says, as the Pentagon prepares to make COVID-19 vaccine mandatory, some lawyers see a surge in calls. Says here, the messages began pouring into the law office of Joseph Jordan in Killeen, Texas, soon after the Pentagon announced it would seek to make the COVID-19 vaccines mandatory for the troops. Service members wanted to know what their options were if they didn't want to be vaccinated. It's been the number one issue for our law firm in the past few days. Jordan told CNN, I'm getting emails, I'm getting messages on Facebook, we're getting calls. It's been absolutely nuts. 3 to 4 calls an hour. The issue of mandatory vaccinations is relatively new for Jordan, whose experience as a criminal defense attorney near Fort Hood focuses on violations of the Uniform Code of Military Justice, but hasn't slowed the calls. The questions aren't coming from the young enlisted. They're coming from the seniors. They're coming from the medieval ranks, Jordan said. I talked to a guy with 31 years in the service, and he asked, do I need to retire now? In wake of the Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's announcement Monday that he would, by mid-September, seek the authority to make the vaccine mandatory, even if it hadn't yet fully received approval from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, other law firms have seen a similar spike in inquiries. CNN spoke to 5 law firms with a focus on military law, and they said they have all seen a surge in inquiries about the COVID-19 vaccines. 2 other law firms say they have not received calls in question. A lot of anger. It says here, the soldiers who have talked to me, I've experienced have a lot of anger, said Joseph Owens, a lawyer who served in the U.S. Army's Judge Advocate General Corps. Owens says his firm, based in Columbia, Maryland, has received a dozen calls since Austin's announcement. For Owens, the question revolves around whether it is lawful. It is a lawful order to compel service members to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. And to answer that question, he says that he will look into the decision-making process behind mandating that vaccine and the legal considerations that went into the decision. Any procedural missteps in testing, authorizing, or administering the vaccine, he says, could make it an unlawful order. So, to make a long story short, these folks are starting to say, you know what, if you're going to try to make us take this thing, we're going to get the law on you. we're going to see if you can force us. Hey, Nettie Boo, good morning. We're going to see if you can force us to have something jabbed into our arm. There are a lot of people who, I mean, you do listen. You do have a valid point, in my opinion. You know, you should have the right to determine what is going to get inserted inside of your body. You should have that right. That's in my opinion. But what you gotta understand when it comes to the military, once you put that uniform on, you belong to the government. You are what they call government property. So I remember when I was in the military, they told us from day one. They told us from day one that as a soldier, when you have that uniform on, that is our property. So if I grab you by the uniform and I'm not touching you, I'm touching the uniform, and I pick you up and I slam the uniform down to the ground, I am handling government property. So there's a lot of things that happen in the military that they deal with because you are not your own. You belong to the United States government. So if they say that our property needs to be vaccinated, it's going to be a good case. Something to definitely bring up. Here's something else, y'all, that I told y'all I would follow up on the other day. So let me pull this up. This was about the story of the young lady who was the American Idol, Sahisha, and how her kids got taken away from her. I did want to follow up on that because I thought that was something that was definitely worthy of following up on. So I want to show y'all this here. One moment here. Okay, it says here that the singer, 34, shared an hour-long Instagram video of the sheriff's deputies forcing her hand over her newborn daughter on the side of the road. Even as Mercado told them her baby was still breastfeeding, they took her baby. They took our other baby again, she captured in August 10th video. Mercado has explained on social media that she brought her firstborn son, Aminra, to Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in St. Petersburg, Florida, earlier this year. She took him in to get extra fluids because he was weaning from extended breastfeeding to eating more solids. However, she said, armed officers forcefully removed me from my son. In March, after she was accused of abuse and neglect, in her words, the singer wrote on Instagram, "They ripped me away from my proudest creation in life. Pure joy, my sunshine." The Matinee County Sheriff's Office concluded an investigation in March after receiving information through an abuse hotline about a child at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital who was suffering from severe malnutrition and failure to thrive. According to Randy Warren, a public information officer of the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, in a statement to E! On August 13th, Warren said a judge ordered Aminra to be sheltered and receive treatment. The parents refused to cooperate. Let me read that again. Warren said a judge ordered Aminra to be sheltered and receive treatment. The parents refused to cooperate. The officer said, adding that Safe Children's Coalition took over the case, including the decision to shelter Mercado's second child this week. A family court judge ordered officers to pick up the family's newborn daughter, which took place on Wednesday. Warren added, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office declined to comment further. NBC News reported that her baby daughter was taken during a surprise welfare check. How could you guys do this? Do you not feel anything? She asked officers in her video this week. Per NBC, my baby is days old and you're taking my baby away from me. You're taking my baby away from me. You have no heart. This is so wrong. Mercado has received an outpouring of support after she accused authorities of racial discrimination in her GoFundMe page, which has raised over $250,000 to bring Ray home. She wrote that she and her daughter and her partner, Tyrone, who she says is an educator of the youth service professional working in a foster system, need support to raise awareness of the legal kidnapping of Black babies through CPS. According to Mercado's fundraiser, authorities accused her of refusing a B12 shot that was a matter of life and death. For Ray, Mercado alleges that's an absolute lie, saying they never refused a shot and at no point was he on the verge of death. Tyrone also said that in an Instagram video that they have been cooperating and said that he told authorities during Captain Dennis Romano Jr., who was the commander of Child Protection Investigation of the Manatee Sheriff's Office, said in a statement to E! News, we understand that from the outside looking in, the division's actions seem uncaring, but let me assure you, we have the best interests of children and families in mind at times. He said his department follows numerous laws to ensure we not lose focus when dealing with vulnerable families, adding the last thing anyone in this business wants to do is shelter children from their parents, but sometimes it is the only direction we are forced to take when the need arises. The shelter children, according to Romano, the families are given guidance on how to reunite with children. Mercado has been fighting to be reunited with Amina for months, calling him a captivating spirit, a beautiful light with eyes bright as the sun on her GoFundMe page. He brightens up any room with his vibrant smile, she said. He is 18 months and absolutely loves being in nature. His mommy reading to him, playing his djembe drums, and listening to his favorite album on the record, Bob Marley. Mercado was a second place runner-up in American Idol, placed behind David Archuleta and David Cook. She also performed the Book of Mormon in Broadway. I don't know, y'all. I feel a little bit different about this story now that I've seen the whole picture. Racial discrimination. If your baby is malnutritioned and on the brink of death, I did see. Oh, you good, Diva. You good, sis. I'm sorry. I didn't know you was live either until they told me. I was already like 7 minutes in. But no, you good, sis. You good. We're gonna link up. Rocking with the Truth said, not my newborn baby. So sad to give her baby back. Sometimes you can't produce milk and have to give the baby a supplement. Okay. I'm not a mom, so I don't know that kind of stuff. But from the outside looking in, when you see the story, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, how did your baby even get to that point to where it's malnutrition? I guess, if you weaning the baby off, I guess you got a point. So I don't know. It's just, we're looking at it from the outside. It don't look good. You know what I'm saying? It just don't look good. Laria Cat, what's up? April Showers, good morning, Queen. How you doing? Yeah, thank God for replays. I agree, Diva. As y'all know, the R. Kelly case starts tomorrow. So it's gonna be crazy. It sounds like the defense released their last proposal to have things dismissed. But if anyone read that motion, it had so many misspellings and mispronunciations in it that it was actually embarrassing to actually read. I don't know what kind of defense R. Kelly has, but God bless him. It's crazy. This 504 girl, what's going on, sis? How you doing? Good morning, beautiful ladies. Thank you so much for that phone call. I appreciate you. But I don't think they refused help. Otherwise, they wouldn't have come to the hospital in the first place. That makes sense, Nettie Boo. That makes a lot of sense. Why would you bring the baby to the hospital if you didn't want help? That's one of those logical things. So, Nettie Boo, guess what? You make 100% sense right there. That makes sense. Okay, I get it. Really, Atmos, I gotta watch the replay after this. Oh yeah, it was. Oh, Diva. When you read it, it's gonna blow your mind. And then look at how the opposition responded to it when they read it. They was even saying it's embarrassing. It's crazy. All right, y'all. Last thing I want to go over this right here, y'all. Now, I know we've been talking about this eviction moratorium. This thing where these landlords are still not getting paid. You know what I'm saying? From people not being able to work. Well, this next story I'm about to show you is devastating because it looks like this landlord just lost every single marble he had in his head. He could not take the pressure of what's going on. It says, elderly landlord laughed and smiled as he killed 2 tenants and wounded a third over unpaid rent. Arnaldo Lozano Sanchez's tenants were late with their rent as the elderly Las Vegas landlord was determined to handle it his way, according to prosecutors. Lozano Sanchez, 78, is accused of gunning down 3 of his tenants last week, killing 2 and seriously wounding a third. He is charged with 2 counts of murder and a single count of attempted murder, according to court records. Lozano Sanchez is being held without bond in Clark County Jail. During the initial appearance on Wednesday, Lozano spoke through an interpreter. He said, "I don't know what I'm being accused of," he said. What in the entire? The landlord accused of killing 2 women and critically injuring the third is due in court at 9 a.m. The witness told police Sanchez is the expected shooter and was smiling and laughing. Armando Lozano Sanchez, first words were that he doesn't know what he's accused of. He's facing 3 felony charges, 2 open murder and 1 attempted murder. So this is the guy. He look about 11 cans short of a 12 pack. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police officials said the patrol officers were called around 12:23 a.m. Tuesday at a home at 212 West Chicago Avenue where multiple gunshots had been reported. When they arrived, they found a woman lying in the driveway, mortally wounded. Shortly after officers moved the woman from the driveway, a man stumbled out of a single-story pink house, also suffering from multiple bullet wounds. Like the female victim, he was rushed to the hospital. The male victim survived, but the woman was pronounced dead a short time later. Officers received word that the alleged shooter, Lozano Sanchez, was still inside the house. Communication was established with Mr. Sanchez, who eventually surrendered without incident. Officers went inside the home where they found a second slain woman. The Associated Press reported that Lozano Sanchez allegedly asked a neighbor to help him get rid of the gun. The weapon, which is a semi-automatic pistol, was later found hidden under a bush near the alleged gunman's property. It was unclear if anyone helped aid the gunman. Detectives learned that Lozano Sanchez was renting out 2 of the 3 bedrooms in his 1,120 square foot house. What? That little teeny place? Single family home. According to the arrest report obtained by the Review Journal, a witness, Ardria Ortega, told investigators that Lozano Sanchez had become angry 7 days before the shooting because his tenants had not paid their rent. Ortega suggested Mr. Sanchez go to court and evict the people living inside his home. The report states Lozano Sanchez told the witness he would handle it his way. After a witness, Carlos Lopez told police that he and his girlfriend, identified in the report as Paula, were staying in one of the rooms. Lopez said Paula left the room shortly after he heard the gunfire start. When Lopez looked outside the room, he saw Armando Alonzo Sanchez standing in the hallway, smiling and laughing. Another of the renters, Seferino Reyes, heard the shots and opened his own door. Lozano Sanchez told Reyes he would not be able to run from him anymore. According to the document, Lozano Sanchez began to push his way into Reyes' room. Lopez could hear Reyes yelling, "No!" The Reyes' girlfriend, Dawn, screaming from within the room. Lopez heard several more shots and hid behind his door as Lozano Sanchez would not spot him. Court records state. Lopez then observed Lozano exit the room smiling and laughing. The uninjured Lopez ran from the house, at which point he found his girlfriend bleeding in the driveway. Both women died. The surviving victim, Reyes, was shot 9 times. Golly. The AP reported the police had no immediate information on whether the fatal rent dispute was linked to the nationwide eviction moratorium put in place in the COVID-19 pandemic. The ban expired earlier this month, but has since been reinstated in many states, including Nevada. with high transmission of the Delta. Authorities said that Lozano Sanchez asked for an attorney and refused to speak to detectives following the arrest. The AP reported the police had no immediate information on whether the fatal rent dispute was linked to the nationwide eviction moratorium put in place in COVID-19 pandemic. The ban expired earlier this month, but has then since been reinstated in states including Nevada. And the experiencing high number of, okay, so y'all, dang, landlord went crazy. So he still won't get paid, but gets to live in a cell on the taxpayer's dollar. Exactly. Man, listen, this world is crazy, y'all. It is so much going on. We need to pray for the world. Pray for the world. But y'all, listen, man, that's pretty much today's show. I want to thank y'all for coming over here today. Pray for your families. Pray for the people of Afghanistan. Pray for the world. Keep your eyes open. Watch your surroundings. Don't forget to wear your mask everywhere you go. Keep your mask on. I don't care if you're vaccinated or not. Keep your mask on. Keep your alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be playing with this Delta variant, y'all. But listen, I got to get out of here and get ready for work. But I love y'all. If anything pops up today, I will be reading it to y'all a little later on. But I want y'all to have a blessed day. Thank y'all for coming over here. And remember that if you are here right now, no matter what happens after this show, you are blessed. No matter what anybody say to you, no matter what anybody do to you, you blessed because you are here to experience whatever you go through today. Okay? I love y'all. Thank you very much for coming over. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.
Oh, 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 no. I don't need negative energy. Wrap me in positive synergy. I have been doubted through life. Been never done it with trifling people who told me my style would not work. I told them they wrong. They're struggling too long. This song is for you. I'm proving you wrong. Get out my way. Get out my way. Get out my way. Get out my way.
I'm a genuine person. Like, if I love you, I love you. If I don't mess with you, I don't mess with you. It's as simple as that.